Hello everybody, it's Alison from Engli-teach, and today we're just going to have a little practice with some vowel pronunciation by just looking again at the cardinal vowels. Now there is an entire lesson that I have created on cardinal vowels either in our program, and there is a little bit on our YouTube channel if you want to learn more about it. But first of all, let's understand why cardinal vowels are so important. Cardinal vowels are going to help you with your pronunciation so much. It doesn't matter which country you come from, but you must learn the cardinal vowel pronunciation, because the country that you come from will determine how you pronounce your vowels. For example, people that speak French have what we call front-ended or front-rounded vowel pronunciation. So I'm going to give you a little example. Here on my little board in my room, I have 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 8 words, and I'm going to start with this column here. So we're going to go column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4 right at the end there here. And we're going to start on the top. Okay, so we're going to start right up here on the top. Here, and we're going to go right down to the bottom. Now I'm going to say it twice, so the first time listen to the word and look at the word as it's written, and the second time I want you to look at my mouth and how I am moving my mouth, and also the pronunciation that I am producing by working out whether my lips are together, apart, or whether my mouth is further back or more rounded. This will really help you a little bit more with your pronunciation. So starting with the first one here, top, heed, heed, hod, hod, top, hid, hid, hoard, hoard, head, head, hood, hood, had, had, hood, hood. You can really hear, if you listen really carefully, the pronunciation between the two. Okay, I'm going to say them again, and we're going to practice saying them for pronunciation, and then I'm going to put them into a sentence so that you can actually hear the isolated sound but in a sentence, because this is often where learners of English really go wrong. They learn to say the words in isolation, and they learn to say the sounds and the vowels in isolation, so as we just did now. But then when it comes to using it in a full sentence or listening for it in a full sentence, you get lost. So this is hopefully going to help you. So we are going to start here again. Heed, heed, hod, hod, hid, hid, hoard, hoard, head, head, hood, hood, had, had, hood, hood. Great. Now, one thing you can do to really practice this is to play that back as many times as you can and literally pause it, repeat, and if you don't sound like me, look at my mouth and try to match your mouth shape with mine. Okay, now let's put these into some sentences so you can get a bit more of an idea of pronunciation. The first one, heed, heed. He didn't take heed of my advice, did he? Now, if you watched my lesson from last week, you will know that we were practicing tag questions. So I have used a tag question here. I've turned a statement which was, he didn't take heed of my advice. On its own, that would just be a statement. But then when I add the tag question at the end, did he? It turns this statement into an entire question. He didn't take heed of my advice, did he? And did you hear the word heed in the sentence? Let's practice. He didn't take heed of my advice, did he? So if you don't know what heed means, it means to notice something. So heed, to notice. He didn't take heed of my advice, did he? So you're basically saying he didn't take any notice of the advice that I was trying to give. Let's move on. Hod, hod. Now, hod can have a number of different meanings depending on the context that you're using it in. So we're going to be using this one. He wasn't using a brick hod when he took those up the ladder, was he? Tag question. He wasn't using a brick hod when he took those up the ladder, was he? So what's a hod? This is a hod even. Let's get it on the right side. This is a hod. It's the little square tool that you use to put bricks in when if you're a builder or you're a renovator, to take bricks up a ladder so that you don't fall, basically, and also so that you can carry more than one brick as you go up the ladder. So this statement is obviously, or this question is obviously in reflection of somebody falling off. Maybe they fell off the ladder and broke the bricks. And maybe someone said, oh, well, he broke the bricks because he wasn't using a hod when he took those up the ladder. Hod is a very unusual English word. I thought you'd like to know that. Hid, hid. So hid is the past tense of hide. Okay, so I can't hide, or I can't hide yet. It's not dark, for example. But in this sentence, we're using it in the past tense. So an action that has already happened and has finished. She was hid by her parents, wasn't she? Again, it's a question. She was hid by her parents, wasn't she? Let's say it in a real native way, as I would normally say it, and listen to see if you can hear the pronunciation of the I as pronounced in a sentence as you would if it was just in the word hid. She was hid by her parents, wasn't she? Can you hear the speed? She was hid by her parents. She was hid. It almost rolls into the next word. So this is where your listening skills need to really hone in when you're learning English. Hoard, hoard. They hoard over the students, didn't they? So to whore is to kind of utter and smutter a little bit before you make a statement or you say something. So you could be, oh, I don't know what they're doing over there, but oh, right, come along now, for example. Okay, so let's just say I'm teaching in a classroom and I gently utter, oh, I wish these students would hurry up. Right, come along now, everybody move along. So the little bit of language that you heard before I said, come along now, is whoring. It's me muttering or uttering some words very delicately, almost under my breath. And we do this to either to talk to somebody else without everybody else really hearing or hearing enough to understand, or we say it by ourselves to show maybe frustration or disbelief without causing alarm. Head, head. He hit his head last week, didn't he? Now, I've purposely created this sentence because there is lots of all guttural sounds, which is a prime example of the extracting the right amount of respiration as you are and breathing as you are saying these words. He hit his head last week. He hit his head. There is an awful lot going on in the mouth, and it's a brilliant sentence to help you really practice these tight-knit sounds in English. He hit his head last week, didn't he? But we don't say it that slow in normal English. He hit his head last week, didn't he? Oh my gosh, is he okay? Practice. Let's move on. Hood, hood. If I turn to the side, hood, hood. Now you can have a hood on the back of a car, you can have the hood on a porchway going over the entrance of a house, over the door to stop the rain coming in. You could have a hood on a jacket or a coat to stop the rain and the cold going on your head. And you could have a hood on a cloak, which is a very long garment, kind of like a coat, but just with a clasp here. So her cloak, let's just change that to her. Her cloak had a big hood on it, didn't it? Her cloak had a big hood on it, didn't it? Her cloak had a big hood on it, didn't it? Great, this is great practice for your pronunciation. I hope you're saying this back. And if you want to make another sentence using the word hood or any of the other 8 main words that we're looking at today, do so in the comments and I will correct them or leave a little comment, whatever you've put, just to let you see how you're getting along. Okay, let's move on. Had, had, had. Turn to the side. Had, had. They had a great time in Mexico, didn't they? I hope so. Dun, 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 dun. Drinking lots of tequila, I imagine. They had a great time in Mexico, didn't they? So had is such a small verb, but we use it so much in English. It's very, very small, but we can use it in so many ways. It's a great flexible piece of language that you really need to incorporate into lots of your English. It's very useful. Who'd, who'd. So who'd is a contraction of who would. So you could say, who would have thought that they would have done that? However, in most spoken English, you would just contract those 2 words and you would say, who'd have thought that they would have done that? Again, it's very, very, listen to it again, who'd have thought, who'd have thought. It's a very small word that actually has quite a lot of use in that sentence. Who'd have thought that they would have done that? So again, the pronunciation is really, really important. I hope that really, really helped you. And don't forget, if you want to carry on learning with Engli-teach, just go on over to engli-teach.com here and you can open up your free access account, and in your free access account you can get a free little lesson every single week, and sometimes I even give you free assessments that also can be marked by me and my teachers every single week. You can of course upgrade and join our Engli-teach classes. And of course these are great because you get the best of both worlds. You have the opportunity to practice your actual spoken English in a real adult lesson with other adults, a small group lesson, with teachers like myself who are native English speakers and real qualified English teachers, not just people pretending to be teachers because they can speak a bit of English. I'm a real qualified teacher, and everybody that works with Engli-teach are real English teachers with proper accredited qualifications. So if you want the opportunity to join in, I'm going to leave a link down below. You can sign up. There is no contract. You can just come along and join in and really take your English further faster. Happy learning. Speak to you again soon. Goodbye.